Today launches the national radio show, the Dan Bongino Show, right after this podcast with your host, me, shockingly named Dan Bongino. And it's really an incredible feeling. Banned for life. Public enemy number one. Me. Little old me. Kid from Queens. Public enemy numero uno by the YouTube commies. You know what it is about live programming? I love live programming because I need to operate under pressure all the time. I can't function any other way. Key, wouldn't you agree? I'm much better live. By the way, big thank you. 100,000, just crossed 100,000 people watching. We love you guys. You're the best. Hit the fucking thing, please. Oh, holy shit. 200,000. What the fuck just happened? We got DigiGift. We got broken glasses. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Paperwork from forever. 998! Come on! Do it! Who's... Oh! Holy shit! What is going on here? What the fuck just happened? What just happened? Holy shit! 3 million! How the hell do we... Look at this shit! I got stuff flying everywhere. We got flags flying. What the hell just happened? I just noticed the flag didn't come down. Where the hell did... Oh, no way. No, we didn't.
There it goes.
No, we didn't.
There it goes.
There it is.
There it goes.
No!
Yeah!
500,000 to the listening audience.
Freedom ring.
How you been? You feeling all right?
I hope so.
You've been busy.
I've been busy. I really have. We've been doing a lot. Your show's going great, huh?
How many people we got watching right now? 290,000 people, and the show just started. So we'll be the biggest live stream in the world. Oh, man. You guys, look at this crew. So just so you know, folks, my last show, my team, who I love to death, and my wife and my crew have put together a cold open for me. I have not seen any of this. I promise you, virgin eyeballs on it. We've got an entire crew here of patriots, people who have been P1s, diehards. We've got a bunch of people outside. I'm going to recognize everybody. Today is my last show. And listen, don't let the square jaw, the medium-sized T-shirt, which Nicole Wallace recognized, which was kind of weird. And this, I'm really a big softie. And you'll see today, I'm going to do my best to hold it all together. But after taking this 10-year journey with you, I can't. My wife brought out some. I'm like, I'm sorry. But I just love you guys so much that to spend this last couple hours with you before we go on to other things. I'm going to do my best to hold it together. I appreciate you guys so much, and my crew. I don't even remember half that stuff. Some of it just happened too. That election night, guys, was just a few months ago. Does it not say? It seems like it was like 10 years ago that we did that. And then the interview with President Trump. And the sign, that's the sign right out there. Which he signed for us. It all seems like so long ago. And when we hit 500,000 on the thing, I think producer Jim was more excited. Did you see him in the thing? Jim got it in the white shirt. Jim almost fell off the chair. He got so excited. So I got a good show for you lined up. Well, actually, I have no idea what I've got lined up. So what am I talking about? I have no idea. It could be a terrible show. These guys put it together. But either way, we're going to go through it together. Listen, we've had great business partners throughout the years. And producer Jim, what are these things called? Ads. And I have this thing, at least for today, called a?
Ad.
Job. Yes, thank you. Anita, Andrea, for putting it together. Some of you know. Yes, it's called a job. There are still media people stunned by that. Today's podcast sponsored by Beam. We've been good friends of ours. Go to shopbeam.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino for 47% off your order. Today's show also brought to you by My Patriot Supply. They've been with us for years. Listen, we don't take spots from everyone. We haven't, but we've had great partners. They've been with us for a long time. The world's unstable. Evil still exists. You got to be ready for anything that comes your way. Better to have emergency products and not need them, right, than need them and then not have them. So another crisis could hit. It happens all the time. Why would you not have this stuff? Blackouts, storms, you've seen it, emergencies, shortages, pandemics. It's happened just in our lifetime. That's why Patriot Supply brought back the Emergency Preparedness Bundle one last time, so you're ready to handle anything. The bundle has about everything you need. 3 months of emergency food storage, water filtration, heirloom seeds, multivitamins, vitamins, potassium iodine tablets, and best of all, you can save $300 on this exclusive bundle, but only while it lasts. Get one for every member of your family. It's mypatriotsupply.com/Bongino, mypatriotsupply.com/Bongino. Don't wait. Be ready for the next crisis when it hits. And thank you, sincerely, My Patriot Supply, for incredible partnership through the years. You guys have been great. Jim, that's called a pay it. Thank you. Producer Jim, of course, not paying attention as always because he's not used to this in the podcast. Producer Jim's brain does not activate until when? 11 Texas time, 12 noon our time. So we're an hour behind. We love looking at him. He's already smiling. He's rocking a Bongino Army shirt. Wait, keep that up. I know I'm going out of it. I didn't know what shirt to wear this morning for my last show, and I thought, come on, this is obvious. You got to wear the Bongino Army shirt as a salute to you guys, so thank you. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Patriot Mobile, and they stuck with us for a long time. If you're part of the Bongino Army, you should be on Patriot Mobile. We have to support companies that share our values and believe what we believe in. You can switch to Patriot Mobile with confidence, knowing you'll get outstanding nationwide coverage because they operate on all 3 major networks. You have a guarantee from Patriot Mobile. Every dollar you spend supports a company, believes in the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, and our veteran and first responder heroes. Switching's easy. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Their 100% U.S.-based customer support team will help you find the perfect plan for you, your family, even your business. So go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Get a free month of service with promo code Dan. Truth is, I can't think of a reason you shouldn't be on Patriot Mobile. That's patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Fellas, for the last bell, I'm going to hear until I see you on the other side. Oof. All right, we just started. Deep breaths. I missed that bell. And the Kenny bell, too, when the bell didn't work. The Kenny bell is in storage now, so... Guys, first, before we get started, and I don't know what you have planned, they want me to live react to some of these clips, so this is a genuine reaction. I haven't seen any of this stuff. Just a couple of things I wanted to get to here. This show started in February of 2015. I had lost a race for Congress, and it was pretty devastating. We had won on election night. If you go back and look on the election day, if you go to Maryland State Board of Elections here, shut down their website today, and you look at that 2014 November election, you'll notice on election day we had won, and then there were votes came in afterwards. I'm just trying to tell you how it went down because you'll understand where this podcast started from, and we wound up losing when they finally called it. I don't know, 4 or 5 days later, and Paul and I were pretty devastated. And I got to tell you, I didn't know what to do. It took a while, but I'm all about getting up and dusting off and fighting the next fight. And I had read this article about this thing called a podcast and how Adam Carolla was kicking ass on a podcast. And there was some political content, but not much. And I said to Paula, do we have any money left? And Paula was like, no, but we got this plastic thing called a credit card. I'm like, well, let's use it. I said, I think we should get a microphone and we should start this podcast thing. And I went down in my basement with producer Joe, and we put some moving blankets on the wall, and we recorded our first show. And because we knew so little at the time about podcasts, we used a piece of trademark music, and it got pulled down immediately. So my first show, it's a true story, does not even exist. Someone allegedly has it, but I don't. We've looked for it forever. Maybe audience archivist Judy has it somewhere. So if you go back, the second show, you'll see is actually the first show. I think it's on SoundCloud and Apple. You'd have to go way back. But we never expected it to really explode as fast as it did. And then the Russia collusion fiasco happened, and the show just went stratospheric. And we've moved, I had to write this down, from my basement in Severna Park to Palm City with me and Paula. Paula was the producer. He was the only producer. Then we moved to Stewart, and then we moved to this place now, which is the new studio, which is a converted Burger King, which we have Speak the Truth McGuire. He brought me an actual Burger King ashtray, which is in the back, and that's how we wound up here. So some thank yous to my wife for sticking with me because I tell her all the time, you could have married a doctor and not have to deal with any of this stuff, but she didn't. She married someone who, I don't know, folks, I don't know how to say it. Good enough was never good enough for me, and that sounds great in theory, but I got to tell you, it drives people around you sometimes crazy. And I don't know. I always live by the whole adage, big people do big things, So it's only 10:59. Please laugh, because it breaks up my sadness. It does. It helps me get back and grounded. But we're the only two people crazy enough to marry each other and make this thing work. There's no other way I could have done any of this. There just isn't. If you don't have a real rock behind you, then forget it. You're building a house on a pile of sand. I thank my crew. These guys have just put in incredible hours. I mean, they've been with me through thick and thin. Guy's been here the longest. Michael's been an incredible addition. Justin's been with us forever, since he was like 13. We may have broken child labor laws or something like that. I'm kidding. This is law enforcement. He was an intern, and then we brought him on. He's been an amazing employee. He's got an incredible family. Michael, we just met by chance. Michael's married to Evita, and then we had an opening for a spot. That's a whole other story when the statute of limitations runs out on that. I'll tell you. And they were like, well, Michael's really smart. And it turned out to be just a gift to us. We got Jason here. Jason Howard has done my social media for how long has it been? 8 years? I don't even remember. Forever. It seems like I've known him forever. So everything you see on our social media, that's all Jason. Jason's right there. Oh, look at these guys with the camera, all fancy now. I bet you never thought you'd be on camera. So there's Jason, the best social media manager in business. Matter of fact, he was so good on social media that there was an organized effort to stop Jason. Why is everybody tipping me? Don't tip me. I love you guys. You guys are the best. You do not have to tip me, please. I really deeply appreciate it, but I really mean it. Keep your money. I'm just looking on the screen at the chat. They're putting the chat down there. So, Jason, thank you so much. To Westwood One, CEO of Westwood One, Colin is here, and Teresa has been with us forever. She's kind of the Bongino whisperer. She deals with me and Mark Levin. So prayers for Teresa. Prayers, not from Mark's great. I said, but Teresa's kind of been the Bongino whisperer. And for those people who think that this was an easy decision, you see why we started early. I have a lot of thank yous, and they're necessary, and I want this on the record. Westwood One didn't have to do this, folks. They didn't. I'm not going to bore you with the details and be inappropriate, but I'm telling you right now, they couldn't have been easier to work with. They were like, you're doing this for the country? We're in. That was it. So anybody who tells you like, corporate America is a bunch of, unkind, unfeeling assholes, you're just wrong. You don't live through what I lived through. They couldn't have handled this any nicer. And Mary Berner, who was the CEO of the parent company, I got a lovely email from her as well. We haven't always agreed on everything, but I really appreciate you guys understanding. Someone laugh or something. Thank you. I really appreciate you all understanding why I had to do this. I want to thank Haley and Evita. Evita just walked in. I mean, two absolute studs. They're just amazing. Evita was our first hire. I knew it the second I saw her. I'm like, this woman is a star. Then she brings in Michael too, which wasn't even part of the plan. But Evita's show, we just naturally have this chemistry together. I hope you saw the interview with her. That thing could have went on. What did you say to me? You said, okay, we got to wrap it up by this time. And I looked up and it was that time. And I'm like, let's just keep going, Killer. What'd you have, like 38,000 on the show? Evita's been amazing. I hope you follow her when I leave. I obviously have not. She just does Evita, and it's just an amazing show. Haley's 3 shows in already, a top 25 live streamer. We've known each other a long time. She used to book me on the Sean Hannity show. Remember, you come down and get me, and I didn't even have a Fox pass. You have to get me in. Hey, I'll have to take you up on the elevator. I didn't even have a pass to get in there, and we've known each other for a long time. She, just the gates open and boom, winning the race right away. I want to thank all my business partners throughout the years who have been with me and advertisers on the show who supported the show and kept it free. You guys are amazing. The program directors who carried the show, the radio show, which I get it, is kind of nuts. I understand that not everybody handles a radio show like I do, and I'm sure it wasn't for everyone, but we handled it differently, and I really appreciate it. We got Miles here from Field of Greens, and I just specifically call out Miles here because Miles was my first sponsor. Miles and I have been friends for 10 years. Miles, there he is right there. See, look, I told you, he looks good too. He must be taking Field of Greens as well. This is Miles. You guys melted his website down the other day. He really wanted to do something special for you. Miles, thank you so much for your friendship throughout the years, brother. You were the first one to take a shot on us. And can you just acknowledge that Field of Greens was my idea? Thank you. Thank you. It was. I have no say in the game. I said, Miles, I'm taking this fruit vegetable. It tastes like crap. Can you make something taste better? He was like, brother, I have totally got you. That's how it started. And it turned out to be one of his best-selling products. We got John from Blackout here, who's been another great partner over there. Blackout, you know Blackout. I mean, obviously there's John right there. See, John looks good too. Him and Miles are in the same gym together working out. He's like, I just met him today. But the Blackout Coffee, you guys have been amazing. Thank you to everyone. And I'd say outside of my wife, someone I would be remiss if I didn't mention, Chris Pavlovsky from Rumble is here today with his son. And Chris, folks, he's not a big outspoken guy, Chris. He doesn't go out and do fancy fireworks shows and go, hey, look at me, I'm the free speech champion. You're never going to hear him really talk about that stuff. But when I got deplatformed by YouTube for simply telling you that masks don't stop the spread of COVID, which they don't, I had no other options other than this platform called Rumble. And Chris had put together an amazing website and had a great business plan. He had enterprise solutions for people. But we got together, and it's funny to this day, although our business relationship will end as of today in many respects, you know, Chris came to me, and people kind of laughed at the initial deal we made because it was really a handshake, and that was it. It was like, I'll be there for you, and you'll be there for me. You're going to be a free speech platform, and I'm going to advocate for free speech. And Chris has been a real hero to the movement. So, Chris, thank you, brother. You have been a godsend. And all the people out there who, during that dreadful COVID era, that were deplatformed, that were demonetized, and we're given a path on Rumble, we all owe a big debt of gratitude to Chris Pavlovsky. So, Chris, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. You're a good man. Round of applause for Chris. We wouldn't be... And then we got Warlord Brendan Dilley here today. Of course, there's going to be some meme that comes out of this today. So you know that's coming. And I think he works out in the same gym as these other two as well. So everybody, I feel like the smallest guy in the room for the first. So thank you, Brendan, for showing up. He lives in my neighborhood. You know that? So it's a beautiful place. I'm not going to tell you where because of all this other crazy crap going on now. So what do you guys have planned for me? Because I don't know what's going on. So whatever you got planned, you're going to have to go with it because I don't know what you got here. What do you got? This is an old one. All right. It's an old one? All right. Let me see it. Welcome to the Dan Bongino Show. Day after my surgery. Some of you can see if you want to watch the video, move the microphone a bit. There's the quite long scar on my neck there. So you might be wondering why the hell we're doing a show a day later. Because I want to, and I want to thank you all. We got so many well wishes, and we got flowers at the hotel, and people were just overwhelming in their outpouring of support. Twitter, Facebook, Parler, email, everything. And it means the world to us. I mean that. It's made this experience a lot easier to get through. I got a call yesterday, too. Just to show you what kind of a guy he really is, despite the media nonsense about the president. The president called before I went into surgery. I'm not kidding. Like, that's the kind of guy he is, to check in on me and see how I was doing. He's just a wonderful guy. He really is. And it's a shame it gets lost in all the media hysteria about him. Just an amazing guy. He's sick himself, or was, and he's concerned about me. And he didn't even rush me off the phone. Just an amazing guy right before I went in for surgery. So the prognosis is good. Really good. Either way, I'm optimistic. I feel great. I don't want you to think I'm just doing this because
You know, I had nothing to do. I'm doing it because I want to be here. I feel good. If I didn't, I wouldn't do a show. You don't deserve that. But I feel great. Dr. Singh is an amazing guy. And I want to thank Dr. Steve as well. You know who you are, for helping get this all together. I mean, think about it, folks. It was just, what, 2 weeks ago, right, that I found out I had a tumor in my neck, and it's already been removed. So I really appreciate people helping me out. It was a really troubling moment in my life, and you all made it easy. So thank you so much, and to all the doctors, the staff, the nurses as well, and to Jean, the nurse. You probably don't watch my show, but you were so nice. I appreciate you taking care of us yesterday as well.
Oh, man, I can't believe you guys found that. That was the day after I had the tumor removed from my neck, and this is in case you missed it, if you're listening on audio. At one point, you see I turned my whole body. I'm talking to Paula. That was in a hotel room in Upper Manhattan, right near Sloan Kettering, and it was during COVID. So do you remember, Paula? We looked out the window, and there was nobody. It looked like that movie I Am Legend. There was no one on the street, and no, everything was closed because I was in so much pain, and we hadn't gotten the prescription yet. And she's like, "You sure you want to do a show?" And I said, "Yeah, we have to do a show because I don't want the audience. I never wanted you guys to." I didn't want you guys, I didn't want to be anybody's victim. I don't know how to say it and be cute about it. Cutesy time's over, right? I never wanted to be anybody's victim. You know, when I went to MD Anderson for a radiation, there were 13-year-old kids with 2 weeks to live. And I was like, don't feel bad for me. I lived at that point 46 years. I was fine. If God took me, then messing with this pen, I'll get ink all over me. I don't want to go, but, you know, it was okay. No, this one I don't. I heard you say that. You got it. I wish I did, but I don't. We forgot the mic stand, too, in the hotel room. And I was like, ah. And I think Paula had to move a picture off the wall, so we had a white wall in the background. Thank you for laughing. It really does. It helps me so much. But, yeah, that's a true story. President Trump called in the hospital. He was the president. COVID was going on. You have to call me. And he said, "Do you need anything?"
It was a few days before the election.
It was about, maybe like 2 weeks before the election. I said, I need you to save the country. That's about it. Don't you worry about me. That was a good one. You guys really started with the hard stuff. Sheesh, for a guy who's like, man, he comes out of the game. For the guy who's like the most unemotional guy ever.
That's the best you've ever worked in Mike.
You think so? I know. Jim's making fun of me because I'm new. Thank you. See, I need the humor to break this up, but this is going to be a really hard show for me. I have the worst mic discipline ever. The great, when you look at the greats, they had Rush Limbaugh, Levin, Hannity, guys who've been around forever. They know you got to eat the microphone sometimes. Not me. I'm like this. You can't hear. They go, but nobody can hear you, bro. Nobody can hear you. But I had to eat that because we forgot the mic stand. So I know you remember that, Paula, well. That was our I Am Legend moment, but we made it. So, all right. What else you got for me, Guy? I hope it's that. I hope you got the tough stuff out of the way because this thing's already wet. So, what do you got next? All right. Good. Give me a break for a second.
Go. Dan, you're 50 years old. I congratulate you. I didn't think you'd make it that far, but you did. But now you're going to make it to 90 or something. But I just want to say happy birthday. You're a special guy. Happy birthday.
You know who did that video? Yes, Evita's mom did that video. I got that on my phone at my 50th birthday. I see a message pop up. It's a text. I see Rachel Duffy. I'm like, oh, hey, happy birthday. I didn't see the video until a few minutes later because it didn't come through. So remember, Paul, I was in the office. We had, I don't know, Brendan, you were there, like 250 people. We had a concert going on. It was crazy. And I said, oh, look at this. The boss did a little video for us. I remember that. I love that line. I didn't think you'd make it this far, but now you make it to that is like so the boss, right? There's no more appropriate birthday message than that one. Hey, Guy, You want to take a quick break here so we can take care of the people who... Oh. Okay, all right, let me just hold on. Let me wipe my eyes here so I can see straight. All right, Guy says do one more. I needed a little bit of a break. Hey, guys, how you doing? You don't have to be too quiet. Just close that door behind you because it gets hot in here. All right, what do you got for me?
You tell that to the black families
Oh!
that see their sons being killed.
That's all you
Twice the rate
You
of
got nothing else, buddy.
That's
You've got
a
nothing
fact.
else.
That's a fact.
You've got nothing
That's the
else. All
fact.
you
That
want to
is
do
the
is
fact.
see the country
That
burn.
is the-
You just want to see the country burn.
Oh,
That's it.
I want to see the
time.
country burn. You son
Race.
of a bitch. I want to
You're
see the
making a
country
race
burn. You
war out of
punk. You're nothing but a punk.
Yeah.
You're a punk,
Yeah.
Bongino. You're a
Hey,
punk.
you wouldn't tell me that to my face.
We'll leave it there. Coming
Yeah,
up, the left
let's see.
continues.
Wait. Do you guys see the look on Hannity's face at the end? He's like, whatever, guys, we'll leave it there. Haley, come on, though. Tell me those things didn't kick ass in the ratings, right? It was like, guys, you have no idea. Like, Haley worked in Hannity's show for a long time. And when I had my own show, she used to show me, but I never kind of got the inside baseball till I did my own show at Fox. And they get these kind of minute by minutes, or, you know, simple little line graphs. And Haley'd be like, look at this, you and Geraldo last night. It'd be like this. It'd be like, you know, Hannity always did big numbers, but it'd be like, and then Geraldo would come on, and it'd be like this huge spike like that. Everybody loved those fights with Geraldo, and I knew we'd, you know how you kind of don't know you made it till you made it? A Mediaite who hates our guts. I mean, right, guys, they can't hate me anymore. Like Mediaite, they're always writing bad stuff about me, whatever. But Mediaite had their top 100 people, whatever it is they put out every year. And me and Geraldo were like 41, like, damn, Bongino and Geraldo's must-see viewing. It was must-see viewing for me. I used to look forward to it, but what would happen, Paula? You remember this when I would come downstairs? So that was in the house, that studio. I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. I'd be like, maybe it's too much inside baseball, but hey, whatever. I'd be like, you need to like scratch my head or something. I can't relax because I would come downstairs so riled up. So when people used to tell me, like, is that an act? I'll be like, no, it's not an act. Look at the show the next day. There's bags under my eyes because I couldn't sleep because I never knew where he was going with stuff. I will say this. Thank you, Geraldo, for the nice tweet. As you know, I'm a spreadsheets guy, folks. Passionate, but I don't get emotional. Me and Geraldo disagree on a lot of stuff, but I'll tell you, when I saw him in the studio at Fox, he was always a gentleman, so I appreciate that. And people can disagree, right? I mean, that's what makes us different than savages, right? We can disagree on stuff. And thank you for the nice tweet after you heard that I was leaving, so I appreciate that. That perfect, as only Guy can do for the last time. Speaking of spreadsheet, have you done your tax yet? Only Guy does that because he knows I get off on these tangents sometimes. I distract easily, like when there were flies in the studio last time. But I saw that. Do you guys have that one? That one's just gold. Hey, April 15th, the tax deadline's coming fast. You have unfiled tax returns, can't pay the IRS? The IRS is more aggressive than ever, and the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Wage garnishments, bank levies, even property seizures are on the table. You need to get ahead of it, but going up against the IRS alone is a mistake. Take my advice. Call the experts at Tax Network USA. They know the system. They have an edge, a preferred direct line to the IRS. They know who to deal with and who to avoid. Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their genius strategies are designed to quickly settle your tax problems in your favor. Tax Network USA's attorneys and negotiators have already resolved over $1 billion in tax debt. Tax Network USA can help you too, but you need to move fast. April 15th is almost here, so talk with one of their strategists today with no obligation. Stop looking over your shoulder and put this behind you. Call Tax Network USA at 1-800-958-1000. That's 1-800-958-1000, or visit tnusa.com, tnusa.com/Dan. You believe I can read that? And if my eyes are, I still can't hear anything, but my eyes are, that text is small. You guys have, Guy can't read any of that, right? I know, speak under mine. I'm doing it again. Gee, Jim, you just told me that too. Helix mattresses. I slept on one for several years now. I definitely noticed how great I'm sleeping through the night. They've been a sponsor with us for a while, so thank you guys. Helix Sleep's an award-winning mattress brand that's been the essential reason I wake up feeling refreshed and ready to tackle a new day. No more tossing and turning. If you're dealing with snoring, which typically I don't, but Paula said I was snoring the other night when I was really tired. Did you not? Which is like, that must be a first. There's a lot going on in his head. Sleep apnea, back pain, or you sleep too hot. That's definitely me. Helix has a mattress for you. Go to helixsleep.com/Dan to get started. You know a good night's sleep is one of the best ways to have a better quality of life, and Helix mattresses can help you figure out which mattress will work best for you. I have a pretty hectic schedule after a long day of work. Always look forward to sleep on a Helix mattress. So many of my listeners use Helix, and it's making a big difference in their lives. Right now, get Helix's best offer available, exclusive for my listeners, 20% off site-wide. That's right. Just go to helixsleep.com/Dan. Get 20% off site-wide. Again, that's HELIX, helixsleep.com/Dan. Thank you guys for all these years. We appreciate it. All right, back to the show for live reaction in the first Dan Bongino show ever, where he has had absolutely no input whatsoever. Wow, that was a great one. Effing love you, Dan. Love you too. Okay, wait, stop that. Can't believe it's the end of an era. I'm just reading the chat. You guys, it means so much to me. Thank you. What was that? Country Ladybug, miss him already. I miss you guys. You know, when I got up this morning, you know, when I sent out that tweet, I was like, all right, it's just the morning. It'll be okay. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I didn't know what to title the show, and Guy sent me a text. I said, hey, guys, can you guys send out the link right away to get the waiting room up early? And he said, Guy texted me, what do you want to title it? And I couldn't think of anything. And I just thought, you know, see you on the other side. That's the only thing I could think to say. So I will. I love you guys, too. I'm reading all your chats. Thank you, man. You're blowing that thing up right now. Chris, you did good work on that chat. Only we can melt the chat. Only we can melt the chat. All right, what do you got for us next there, Guy?
I'm going to kill this freaking fly.
If it's
this little thing.
I knew it.
You see that little...
I knew it. This is real.
Here he is. He's right here. I'm telling you, he's mocking me right now.
He was mocking me.
He's like, loser. He is. He's a liberal. He's a far left fly.
This happened in a break in the Fox show.
They breed like rabbits.
Like gnats.
And you can't get rid of them. I've tried everything. I'm ready to like fumigate the whole house with deadly chemicals just to kill these things, just to prove a point. They'll land right in your face during the show because they're just like, they're flipping you the middle finger. I just got to find this little during the, because he's driving me crazy. I'm telling you, he's mocking me.
A fight with a fly.
It is. It happens all the time. I do it all day during my podcast. Yeah, Dave, sorry. Just having a fight with a fly.
Guys, I was just telling you this story, right? So, you guys you got to know everything if you're going to be out there in the Bongino army, and I'm going to be gone from you. You need to have the whole library material. So what happened there? So the old studio. Sorry for the sniffles. I'm just really emotional today. So my apologies. But in the old studio, we had converted an apartment, and I'm so glad when we brought on Evita that she saw the old studio. We were on top of each other. I mean, it was not cozy at all because it was just me and Paula. And then we brought on Evita and Michael and Guy and Justin. So we knew we had to get out of there, but it took a while to build this place. But the studio we had was a converted apartment. So when we converted it, one of the contractors forgot to seal off a water pipe. It was like a kitchen sink. So these little drain flies, and you couldn't see them on the Fox show, they would like fly around you, and I'd be reading a monologue, and it'd be this really emotional monologue. Be talking about some crazy thing that happened. It's like some tragedy, and some fly would be like, shh, and he'd be hovering in front of my face. I don't think they have fingers, but some of them were giving me the middle finger. I'm telling you, these things were mocking me, and they were slow, and then they would only get fast when you tried to get them. They'd be like, right? You remember Mr. Miyagi from the Karate Kid with the thing, right? And I'd be like that, and the thing would be like Carl Lewis, boom, sprinting out of there. The whole damn show. So Sabrina, Will, my team over at Fox, they were hilarious. They're like, Dan, we got a surprise for you on this show this week. And they were, of course, the camera was always rolling, and they rolled that clip, and I was just dying on the air. Don't worry, Patty. You just answer that right here. Don't worry. We have phones going off. I told everybody. I said, guys, it's like 40 degrees in here, too. So I told everyone, there's a door over there. If you need to go outside and get inside a Tauntaun, go right ahead. Because I'm always, Evita likes it at like 85. She's like, it's cold. It's 85 in here. Me, I put that sucker down at like 60 degrees. So I'm always hurting. But that's a good one, too, guys. That was great. I love that one from the Fox show. All right. Let me hear it. Oh! Look at that guy. What a singer that guy. You guys have never seen this, have you? Now, you've seen this. You've seen this. You guys check this out. Oh, man. Man, you guys pulled this one, huh? I'm still here, but you ain't gone. You ain't gone, baby. Now, that is some unearthed, like, hardcore fun. Oh, wait! Who the hell's that? Wait,
Let's go!
Are you, like, live here? Or is this, like, did you record?
We're live, baby. We're live.
Shit. So I'm not even supposed to curse anymore. Wait, that is... Nate, man, God bless you. Now, I ruined your whole song, Bulletproof, but you allowed me to come up on stage and just rock out with you. Brother, you've always been a good friend to me. I can't believe you're here. Thanks for joining the show.
Coming at you from Ireland right now, live, man. That was such a fun night, and I'm so glad I got to be at your birthday party. That was amazing.
Nate, when Paula, it was my 50th, and I know I told you the story, but Paula and I said, listen, we need to have someone really special here. And I texted your guy, and I said, listen, if it's not Nate, it's nobody. Like, I don't want anybody else there but Nate. And, man, did you rock that out. My doctor to this day is like, I'm not a country music guy, but I'm a Nate Smith fan now, man. You've been such a good friend to me. You're such a patriot, too. You love your country and your fans, and you're such a humble guy. That was just an incredible night. It was such an honor to have you there.
Bro, I'm so honored to be your friend, and I do love America with all my heart, man. I really, really do. You know that, and I'm just so happy with everything that's coming down the pipeline. And, dude, you were the guy for the job, bro. You were the guy for the job. And I texted you, or I think I FaceTimed you, actually, the other day.
You did.
And it's so emotional, like that. If there was one person that you could choose for this role, if there was one person you could pick to be in the position you're in, it's you, man. There's nobody better. There's nobody that has more of a humble heart that's going to steward this so well, and that's you, Dan.
Nate.
You know, I really believe it.
I was doing the radio show, and I saw FaceTime, and during the break, and it was Nate, and it was the day that this was announced, and that was an emotional call. And, you said something to me, it really kind of touched me. I feel like, you and I kind of almost came up together. I mean, we've known each other about 2 years. I ran into you, I ran into you. You didn't run into me. I saw you opening up for Morgan Wallen, and you were just amazing. And I looked at Paula, and I said, who the hell is this guy? You just blew me away. I never went for the opening acts. I just went to see Morgan, but we had nothing to do in Houston. And there were people like crying when you were singing. So the guy next to me, remember, Paul, he's like, that's Nate Smith. I went home, downloaded your whole album, and I followed you on Instagram. And you immediately followed me back, and you had the nicest things to say. And we've been friends ever since. And now you've blown up. So many chart toppers. Bulletproof is still my favorite song. I sing in the shower horribly, as you've just seen. But you've blown up, too. You're in Ireland. You were where were you, in Norway before this, too? I just saw on your Instagram.
Yes, I've been everywhere. And it's so funny. Like, I give you this compliment. I'm just trying to love on you, and you put it back on me. You deflect it. You deflect it. Just receive it, man. Like, the whole world's excited for you, dude. I'm excited for you. And this is a very emotional day for you and stuff. So when Paula was like, do you want to hop on and say hi to him? I was like, I don't care where I am, what time of the night it is, or whatever. I have to see my guy. I have to see my friend and root him on, and just know that I'm supporting you, dude. I love you to pieces. I really do.
Thank you, man. You absolutely know the feeling's mutual. Guys, just support my buddy here. Nate, one thing, though, I got to tell you, Paul and I have felt horrible about for a long time. Paula, you know where I'm going with it. Nate, you gave us your jacket that night. I can't take it. It's such a nice jacket. The leather jacket he has on, Guy, can you pull up a still of that by some chance? He gave us we'll do it afterwards, but that jacket, I can't. I got to give it back to you. I can't take it. No, I can't accept it. I have it hanging on a mannequin in my man room, and everybody loves it. And because everybody loves it, they're like, oh my gosh, he gave you this? I'm like, maybe it was a mistake, and I had too many Don Julios. I'm like, I got to give this back to him.
If you give it back to me, friendship is over.
Okay.
The deal
is, bro. All right. It's on tape.
That was your birthday gift.
Yeah, the greatest gift ever.
But it fits you better. You look better in it, too, by the way. So.
I have some good pictures in that jacket. It does fit like a glove, Nate. Nate, man, God bless you, brother. America loves you. I know you love them back. Thank you so much. You've been such a great friend to me, bro. Thank you so much. Godspeed, brother.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Nate.
All right. See ya.
Take care. Wow. That was, man, how did you guys hook that one up? Guys, he's not like some incoming guy. This guy's like a big major star. How'd you guys do that one? Was that you? Was that you? Paula worked at it? Everybody hooks up Paula. That's amazing. Thank you. And it worked. Like the tech, we're in a new studio. I was so nervous. I didn't want to do any guests or anything like that. All right, Key. I don't know how you're going to top that one. That was really a surprise. He don't want the jacket back, Paula. We feel so bad about this. Guys, right? We feel so. This is the nicest tour jacket. There's another person. I have no idea who this is, folks. I'm really not messing with you. No idea. All right. Oh, wait, look at this. Country music. The famous John Rich, Big and Rich, John Rich Solo, the Lone Star, the great John Rich, a hero, a patriot, Redneck Riviera. I may have been in there a couple times with producer Jim. Hey, me and Cash were in there one day checking out the place. John, what an honor to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Man, I appreciate that. I got the call from Guy. He said, man, you want to jump? I said, absolutely. Listen, Dan, you're a warrior. We all know that. But I wanted to say something that I think you've really brought to We the People, on top of being a patriot and a champion. The level of education that you have brought to the general audience on how to look at these circumstances and situations, how to make sense of chaos, even for me, has been enlightening many, many times, man. You are a true friend of We the People. I know this is a massive, massive sacrifice that you're making to go take this job. So we appreciate your willingness to serve our country, even at great expense to yourself, which I will say is a reminder of how the founding fathers did it. They all gave up major things to serve our country. And I know you don't view yourself like that, but we certainly do, sir, and we're very proud of you.
John, you have been just an incredible friend to me and my family. And for those of you who don't know, John and I go, oh, there's the jacket. Look at that. For those of you who don't know, John and I go way back. John and I used to do the 5 together. And when I had gotten wind that this was going to happen, John's a very close friend. When I tell you a limited circle of people, I mean, you could fit them on one hand. One of the first people I reached out to was John, because we're always working on projects. And John, I don't mean to be too long-winded, but John's always looking to take care of other people. And I found this singer in my church, this young lady, Anna. And I said, John, you think we can? And John's on the phone right away on a Sunday. And he's like, here's what we got to do. And we're going to help. And then this came up and I had to kind of back away from it. And John, we could not have been nicer. John, through your companies and your donations to charity, Redneck Riviera and all your stuff, you've always been amazing to people. And it's such an honor. And hey, next time I'm around Nashville, maybe I'll have to drink that Liquid Death, the water stuff in the bar instead. But I'm definitely going to stop by, man. You've always been a friend to me, and I will never, ever forget what you've done for me and for America, brother. Thank you.
You were always welcome. We consider you family, brother. Now you go out there and you, by God, show them what you've got, okay? This is Dan Bongino with a smile on his face. He's going to be grinning the whole time, but, buddy, he's coming for you. Go fix these problems, man. If anybody can do it, we know it's you. God bless you.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Thank you, John. Appreciate it, brother. Man, you guys brought the country music A-team out today. I mean, John's had like 10 different careers in country music. Big and Rich, Lone Star, John Rich himself in his solo career. And folks, I'm telling you right now, that guy is a genuine patriot. Trust me, there is nothing inauthentic about John Rich. I mean, Paula, how many times have we texted John? Hey, John, can you do us a favor? Back to you instantly. If he takes 5 minutes, something's wrong. Someone injected him with some scopolamine or something, and he's out because he gets back to you 5 minutes later, no matter what. So thank you, John Rich and Nate Smith. Key, you got the jacket again? I want to see that picture. Pull that sucker up. So this is my party. That is me at the end of the night. Who is? I don't even know who that is to my left. Oh, that's my brother to the right. I don't know who that is to the left. But that's Nate's jacket. Folks, the back of that is hand-painted. And all of his tour dates are on the sleeve. And he's right. That does fit me pretty good. I mean, self-praise stinks, but whatever. Aunt Jane will forgive me. God rest her soul. Someone painted that. So Paul and I were like, we can't take Nate's jacket. He gave us the jacket. And I'm like, is that Brian Chisholm? Yes, it is. I'm like, I can't do that. But he says keep it. So Nate, thank you. It's on a mannequin in our office. So that's the jacket, folks. I'll let you know. That's my backyard right there, too, at the party. So the front was, you remember that part? I remember some of that party, a lot of it. I wish I got to say hello to everybody, but I didn't. I know, you're going to tell me something like, do you need to delete yourself? I know. I know. I knew you were going there. Our last break, folks, and we'll get back for the last half an hour of the Dan Bongino Show. Thank God you guys are here. Really, the studio, I can't really. If you guys weren't here, I'd have broken down 10 times. You guys have so kind of lightened my mood and made this so refreshing. So thank you. What a great idea to have people here. I'm sorry if I'm freezing you out. Oh, look, Vicky Vacani's here as well. Our best friend, Vicky Vacani. You know the orthodontist? This is wife of orthodontist. You know, you had remember in the old, this wife of orthodontist, but a powerhouse like Paula. She is the Paula of the Vacani. So there she is right there, the lovely Vicky Vacani. We love her so. Look at you, now you're on the show. There you go. Hey, Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time. Oh, wait, you got to make an appearance, brother. Makes it quick and easy to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites so it doesn't get stolen. When you sign up, just provide Delete Me with exactly what information you want deleted, and experts take it from there. Delete Me also sends you regular personalized privacy reports showing what info they found, where they found it, and how they removed it. As someone who lives a public life and regularly shares content online, I'm hyper aware of how my information is being tracked and used. So take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a very special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off Delete Me when you go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Use promo code Bongino at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Enter code Bongino at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Code Bongino. And our last, Jim, what is it called, Jim? And I have right now, what is it called? A job for the last ad ever on our podcast here. Birch Gold, you've been a good friend to us. Don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is already sinking, and don't buy gold when the economy is already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hit an all-time highs the first part of 2025. It's not too late for you, too. I've used Birch Gold for years, diversifying into physical gold using Birch. Birch Gold, BIRCH, specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold for no money out of pocket. Just listen to this 5-star review. Knowledgeable, helpful, no pressure. That's what you get with Birch Gold, and that's why I've endorsed them for so long. Get your free info kit on gold by texting the word Dan to the number 989898. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, text Dan to 989898. Let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. And the last thing I'll say, message and data rates apply. Thank you, Birch Gold, and thank you to all the advertisers. Someone special just walked in. He's never shy, but he may pretend to be shy. Trust me, he's never shy, ever at all. But you've heard me talk many times about the famous orthodontist. Can you guys put the camera on? This is Dr. Arvind Vakani. This is husband of the great Vicky Vakani. There he is right there. That is... if there's such a thing when you're 50 years old as best friends, and my daughter calls them besties and stuff, that's my guy right there. He's been with me for a long time. And you notice everybody in my house has straight teeth. That's due to Dr. Vakani. And you want to hear how I met him? I'm at my daughter's school, I don't know, 8 years ago or so. Our kids go to the same school. He's got 2 lovely daughters just like me. We're both girl dads, no sons for either one of us. And I looked at him and I'm like, man, this guy looks familiar. He was on Fox more than I was. You're like, really? What, do you have a show or something? No, he runs ads here locally, and I just saw him on the ads all the time. I'm like, dude, you're on the network more than I am, and I worked there. And we've got a lot of memories together in a lot of countries and a lot of places and a lot of states. Man, so many good times. So I didn't know you were coming by today. Man, my brother. And that's saying a lot, because let me tell you something. This guy's like me. Like, he doesn't stop working ever. And when I didn't miss a show for like 5 years. So we'll be in his backyard on a Saturday night, sharing some barley soda or whatever. And we'll tell stories. And he's like, you know what, Dan? I was the same way. He's like, I didn't take a vacation because, you had other orthodontists. They come in and they steal you. I was the same way. I didn't take off Christmas or anything. I was like, if there'll be other people they're going to listen to. And then he's always been a source of good advice. So thank you, man. And I'm sure we got a lot of good times ahead, but I'm going to have to fly back on the weekend sometime. We're still going out of that boat, which has created kind of an interesting situation. I'll have to see you on the other side on that one. But yeah, all right, play one more for me. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. What do you got for me?
Just since yesterday, massive breaking news about what's going on with Facebook. Everybody hold! Hold!
Wow, that was
Braveheart?
intense.
Hold!
I needed a spear for that one.
Hold. Don't jump in either direction. Don't do it. Don't do it. Your boy, Dan, what do I say all the time to you? Do not get emotional about this. Then you're like a leftist. Be transactional. All we want is plus ones and minus ones. That is it. Don't jump on this is awesome. Facebook's our best friend now. But also, it's silly to jump on the fuck Facebook. This is the stupidest thing ever. I don't know. Hold.
You guys fit a lot in that one.
Karate Man, hold.
Hold,
Because
Karate
the Karate
Man.
Man is patient, and he only feels pain on the inside. Hold like the Karate. I will not steer you wrong.
That was a double
I have
Karate
gone
Man.
to the mat
That
on
was
this
the birth
free
of a
speech
meme.
thing
Is
with
that the
my
first
money,
one?
My blood, sweat, and tears, and my entire reputation.
You don't need to have legislative or executive power to move the needle. The Bongino Army's strong because there's a lot of us, right? Why are there a lot of us? There are a lot of us because we happen to get out ahead of the stories and be 3 to 4, sometimes 6 months ahead of a story.
Look at the chat room,
One of the
guys.
things
With
I
the
told you
Karate
about a
Man.
while
Oh my
ago that you're
gosh.
now seeing
Blow that
materialize.
chat. That chat's
through
gonna
power.
melt.
I mean, actual formal executive power.
But you can't
that
even-
we don't have. I'm not the president. We all get
think
that.
you guys should shut it
Donald
down.
Trump is President Trump now. One of the things you're seeing that we discussed early is. Wait, do I have it? Yes, I do.
Oh, no. Where are we going? Where was I grabbing? What was
Is
I?
the Dan Bongino
Oh, man.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
What did I tell you?
Theory of politics.
Andrea, what did I tell you about
this dude right in the grill.
This is where. You guys. Is this like the memes where all the memes came? There it is. There it is, folks.
The Rock'em Sock'em.
And it still works too. Look at it. It actually still
I
works.
Rock'em Socked him myself.
Look,
Jasmine?
when you beat him, when you win, sometimes he falls off. Oh look, I got it. No, but the bad guy won. There we go. That's it. The bad guy's not supposed to win. That's not the way that works. Andrea, what was I telling you this morning? After that clip, that's where Rock'em Sock'em started, if you're a really new listener to the show. And that, of course, was double Karate Man. If you guys don't get the joke, that was from the Eddie Murphy movie. Was it Trading Places, or was it? That's where that came from. That's my favorite scene in the movie. So that's the joke. But we got, and this is why, and look at it, the thing's blowing up. The chat, I think you guys seriously melted the chat down. We got probably close to a couple hundred of these things. Don't send, and I know, look at all the Rock'em Sock'em. Oh my gosh, nobody can do that to a chat like you guys. Nobody. It fries my phone. It's like my phone is, and we'll have to throw it a Rock'em Sock'em for the last time. You know, thank you guys. That was a good one. That's where all these memes came from. So those were good. All right, what else you got for me? By the way, the thing, Justin, too, if you guys get the chance for this, yeah, at some point. I don't know who sent this thing. Yeah, wait, before you go to the next one, Guy. Guys, I want to show you something. We got this morning. I have no idea who sent this, but whoever did, this is hilarious. Paula gets this thing. Look at this. It's a painting of the Dan Bongino Army Air Force. Now, before you, oh, wow, that's a nice plane. You're missing the details. Paul and I were in a rush this morning, so we missed the whole thing. So it's just sitting on the table. And look there's lovely Paul in a bikini. Well, not a bikini, a one piece, but looking quite attractive, I must say. Now, there's my daughter, Amelia. There's Lucy piloting the plane. Who is that? That's Michael and that little turret there. I think Justin is one of the gunners. Guy's in the back. There's my other daughter. And then Vince is in there in the back. And then there's Evita and Haley. Everybody makes an appearance on this thing. This was the most amazing thing, whoever put this together. So I'd like to say, tell me in the chat who you are, but the chat goes so fast. I have no idea. I have no idea who that was. But that showed up this morning. That came just this morning, and we had no idea. That is how cool you guys are in the audience. We love you guys. Of course, we got to do at least one last Muttley, folks. You know, the Muttley was the original. I mean, I kind of missed the Muttley. We've had to move on from other different elements of the show, but how many of these did we get? Oh my gosh, we probably have something close to about 5,000 of these things. We could give them away every day for the rest of my life if I lived to 100. I mean, look at it, there you go, rocking the Mudley chat. And by the way, that clip I played in the beginning with the flag really didn't come down. There's a ledge in I wasn't making that up. Usually it comes down and, because of the stick, the thing got stuck on the ledge up top. That really happened. What do we got here? Oh, this is my lovely wife, Paula, of course.
That you were going to be leaving the show. I took some of the messages from the chat, and we put it in this here for you.
Oh,
and
my
we're going to
gosh.
frame this for you.
Oh, let me read that. You're the best, Dan. You will be missed. I expect great success from you in the future. Congratulations, Dan. Cutesy time is over. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Paula. And thank you to you all.
Show it to the camera.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm reading it. But there you go. Covering my face for radio. And everybody signed it. I see Jason. Fran signed it. Oh, thank you, guys. So many. Thank you for your service. I really appreciate it. We have the best chat in the world. I mean, listen, guys, live stream numbers, whatever, throw all that stuff out. It's just been a big family here, and I read your stuff. That's why I'm always looking at my phone. That's why Guy made me move the charger thing over here, because I have such poor mic discipline. Listen, just call it what it is. What would I do, Guy? I had it over here to keep it off screen, and now you can't hear me. So Guy's like, just put the damn thing in front of you. Everybody knows you're reading the chat. I'm not like, texting Paul about what's for lunch or something like that. I think we melted down the counter too. Like this has been just a fire show so far. So I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Oh, there's another clip for me. I don't know. I'm not sure. This is your favorite?
This is my favorite.
All right. Let's see what you got.
Back up at dusk on 8/8. No one's thinking about this.
The reason no one's thinking about it is because I'm a fucking moron. That's the reason. But I would love to thank the Dan Bongino Show for declaring this officially the second or third. This is second or third guy. I think the third Frank Fugazi Day. And I want to take this opportunity to accept this great honor.
Did he ever accept a great honor? Did we ever make him like a trophy or anything? We did not, huh? So, folks, in honor of the great, the man, they say that the man, the myth, the legend, but in this case, he is a man. He is definitely not mythical, but he is unquestionably a legend who has given us, what would you say, Guy, hours of priceless content. And by the way, is still writing op-eds about. I have never seen a guy so singularly obsessed with me in his life. The famous Frank Fugazi. Now, the Fugazi head will live on while I am gone from you. I have authenticated the Fugazi head with, no, seriously, it says authenticated. And that is, here, I'll sign it again in front of Anita, AKA Anita, Andrea. So here, in pen, Dan Bongino. But I did tell Anita this. I said, Anita, did I not tell you before? I go, you will be entrusted with the great Fugazi head, but I do want this back one day. So you, on your own show, your own podcast, you and Speak have the McGroin Cruise podcast over there. You are now being entrusted with a prized possession, the Fugazi head. She says she's blessed, and it is a great honor. I gave Jim my first Don't Get Dead coin. Jim is, and we were supposed to give Jim Ren and Stimpy too, but honestly, I don't know where the hell Ren and Stimpy went. We threw everything in a box. We have so many cool little gizmos that I don't even know where it is. So when I find Ren and Stimpy, Jim, they're all yours, buddy. All right. Yeah, that would be a great idea. That's a great idea. Let's do that. Bring him out. So, guys, before I wrap up with you today, the end of the podcast, I just want to be sure to introduce to you who is going to be taking over my show. Obviously, I will have a lot going on. I will be divorcing myself from the business. It's been a long process. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not in any of this for the money, the cash, any of that stuff. Obviously, no one goes into government work to get rich. I just like good people, because if you surround yourself with good people, then good and great things happen. And if you surround yourself with bad people, then awful things happen. Vince Colanese is one of the most talented people in the business. An incredible talent. He's had a show on WMAL. He is launching his podcast on the Silver Lock Network on Monday at 10 a.m., so an hour earlier. You're going to have Steven Crowder afterwards on Rumble at 11. You've got Avita at 9. You've got Haley at 6. You've got The Quartering. You've got Don Jr. You've got an amazing lineup. Vince, it is an honor to have you. You're going to be taking over the radio show, too, and I just want to thank you for, taking this on so last minute.
I can't even believe I'm here. Yeah, and I'm so over the moon about all of this. And I will say, this is the most unusual exchange in media that you will ever see, I promise, for the rest of your life. This is a jealous industry. This is an industry where people, there's some people who help each other out, but for the most part, when a guy gets a job, usually somebody else has to lose it. That's usually how that works. And what's happening here is Dan is stepping away from all of this. Look around us. I mean, just in this room, and then, of course, look at the chat. and what he's built. And I think it's just such an obvious sign of your decency and your commitment to your country that you can do this. You can walk away from this and then become the deputy director of the FBI. Who wants that job? Yeah. This guy wants that job. So you're going in to do something really important. And like I said, this is deeply unusual. So ever since it was announced, am I on mic? Good. Ever since it was announced, the reaction has been completely positive. And that's a testament to you. You said, this is my guy. I like this guy. He's going to do a good job. And your audience, the Bongino Army, has responded so well. It's been unbelievable how nice this has all been.
They're so passionate.
And we're going to do great things, man. And the message I keep getting is, you've got big shoes to fill. I'm like, I know. But what I really have is schmedium shirts to fill.
Yeah, that's Nicole Wallace. Guys, Nicole, make sure Nicole gets a photo of Vince immediately when he wears his first schmedium.
That Nicole Wallace clip is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Why notice that? Right? Isn't that the weirdest
she instantly
thing?
was like talking about your T-shirts, and I was like, this needs like some sort of like slow bass line underneath it. Like, she was really into the Bongino show.
For as much as we've criticized Rachel Maddow and Nicole Wallace, I promise you, you are not going to find a clip of me going, hey, that's some outfit she's got under. Like, what was the weirdest thing? Like, it was such an oddball comment out of nowhere.
Like, she was like practically fanning herself on television.
It was so weird. But a funny story on that. So yesterday, Paula knows we got some guys at the house, some really good guys, and one of them bought me a T-shirt. And the guy said, "I don't know what size you are." I said, "Well, you know, it's Queens, so you got to round down. That's where I'm from." And he knew right away. He's like, "Let me guess, the schmediums." Right? I'm like, "Hey," I said, "But I am 50, so I've got to kind of like size up a little bit." But Vince,
that's cool.
Thank you, brother.
Man,
it's an honor. 10 a.m. on Monday, folks. His first guest, Tucker Carlson.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah,
and we announced Don Jr. last night.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Don Jr. next week.
Yeah.
So
we got Don Jr. coming right to this studio.
McGroin crew, spread the word in studio, huh? Don's
he's coming,
Don,
baby.
That's nice of you. Thank you, Don. That's amazing. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it, Vince. So guys, I'm gonna wrap this up here. Well, I'm gonna try to wrap it up here. I'm really just a little bit overwhelmed because with the show and all the clips and having everybody here, it's the energy kind of just distracts you from the reality of what's about to happen, and it really hit me this morning. I want you to know how much I love you guys. I mean that. People throw that term around, but I really love you guys. I feel like I've met so many of you. Some of you I've never even seen, whether it was Eric or Jeremy on the radio show. I chose early on to interact with my audience in kind of a different way, and it's paid me back so many dividends. And there's nothing more incredible than going out at a book signing and someone goes, "Hey, how'd that treat you gave Lucy the other day work out?" And you're like, "How'd you know that?" Like, "You said it on the radio." I'm like, "I did?" Like, that people, the relationship seems so asymmetric at times. Like, you know about me, but I don't know about you. But I know all I need to know about you, which is you've been there for me when I needed you. And to walk away from this was, I promise you, was not easy. But I absolutely know that this was the right thing to do. I've told you over and over, but that measure the effectiveness of what you do in your life by how people who stand and tell you to stop react. And the reaction has been exactly what I expected. I promise you this, I'm going there with a clear mission in mind. I go there with a clear head. This was done for the right reasons. And I am really, really, really going to miss doing this and being here with you every day. From this point on, if you follow me on deep breath, see, breathe in, it's easier. My social media accounts are not going to be abandoned, but I won't be posting about politics. It'd be inappropriate during my time. There's understandable restrictions on that, which make perfect sense. But you can still follow me. I'll be opening up different accounts and official accounts and things like that. But I have to stay out of the political space because it's the right thing to do and it's the rules. And I hope you understand that. I'm not going there to be some partisan. I know the people who hate my guts in the media. I don't expect you to understand that. The idea of putting aside your politics to do a job is definitely foreign to you. I totally get that, but it's not to me. You know, I proudly protected 2 Democrat presidents and a Republican. No problem at all. I'm not sure you could do that, but I did. And now it's a different protection role. So I still got a radio show to do, which is crazy. How I'm going to get through that. So I'll end as I began. I'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you. That was hard, man. Wow.
3 more hours.
Yeah. 3 more hours to go. This is now real. So, President, Attorney General Bondi, and now Director, gosh, that sounds good to say, FBI Director Akash Patel offered this role, a role I expressed an interest in. And ladies and gentlemen, I told you, you see, it's hard for me. I'm going to accept the role proudly as the Deputy Director, the number 2 spot at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. My left shoulder doesn't work, so I wanted to do like a big dramatic thing. And I just realized, looking at the feedback, my left arm don't work. Let's just do the... Here it is. If you were listening, I love... Look at this. These guys cutting out. Look at this. Look at these guys in the other room. Oh, look at them. Fancy. Go around again. Look at that. If you are listening on Apple and Spotify, you know I love you guys. You are the originals. We didn't even have a video show for years until the lovely Paulita said, I think we should do a show on video. By the way, she's sitting right here too. This is the new studio. We got a big show for you today, second to last show. Tomorrow will be the finale. I don't know. I'm just going to let you guys know right now. Producer Jim is here in the room. Teresa's here. Colin's coming from Westwood One, like the big boss. I was like, what? What am I getting fired or something like that? What's going on? I'm like, oh, you can't. You're leaving on Monday. Like, what just happened? So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not messing with you. I do not know what is happening tomorrow. There's a rumor there will be people in the studio. I don't know. You're going to have to tune in. I'm not teasing it unnecessarily, okay? Guy, what do you, Guy, do you need, I know what he's saying right now. Do you need something from All Family? That's what he's saying, right? I get it. As you know, it's our second to last episode. So before I head off into the sunset here, don't worry, we're going out with a bang here. One of our sponsors, All Family Pharmacy, want to do something big for you, our listeners. It's not just a sale, it's a thank you. Before we wrap things up, they're offering a buy one, get one free on ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, the same meds Big Pharma tried to bury. but you've always had the right to make your own choices. If you want to stock up, now's the time. Just complete the form online, and a licensed doctor provides the prescription, and they can ship your meds straight to your door. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino. They've been my go-to for a while, and use code Dan, B-O-G-O, at checkout. That's Dan, B-O-G-O, for a buy one, get one. That's the B-O-G-O. Get one free deal exclusive to this show. I've always believed your health, your choices are yours. If it matters to you, get help, take control today. Check them out. Allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino. Use code Dan, B-O-G-O, for buy one, get one before the deal ends on March 17th. Go get yours today. All Family Pharma, thank you for your support, by the way. And these products are not intended to diagnose or extended as a substitute for professional medical treatment or advice. Consult with your healthcare provider. Thank you, All Family Pharma. Today's show also brought to you by, as we wrap things up, My Patriot Supply. They've been with us from the beginning. We've always been very selective about our sponsors. I'm going to miss a lot of you. It's been a great business partnership over 10 years. We appreciate it. The world's unstable, folks. You got to be ready. At some point, another crisis is going to hit. That's just a fact. You're going to be prepared or not. It's better to have emergency products and not need them than to need them and not have them. That's why I asked My Patriot Supply one final time to bring back the Emergency Preparedness Bundle so you're ready to handle anything. You got your emergency food in it, 3 months worth, water filtration, heirloom seeds, multivitamins, potassium iodide, anti-radiation tablets as well. Best of all, you can save $300 on this exclusive bundle, but only while it lasts. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Bongino now. That's mypatriotsupply.com/Bongino. Don't wait. Be ready before the next crisis hits. And thanks, My Patriot Supply, for standing with us all these years. All right, fellas, the second to last bell. And producer Jim, for the second to last time, I have this thing now called a job. And what we just heard is called a ad. You guys are so good at this. So amazing. Teresa, you've been in this business a while. I know it's new. Again, we invented it. We are the first people to ever do this. It's incredible how we did that. Fact checkers! Fact checkers. We're just kidding. I want to thank also Evita, Haley, and Vince. Vince is in the studio again today. He will be taking over 10 a.m. on Monday with a huge show. His first guest, Tucker Carlson. He's got another, basically not another, but a couple. He's got a really sick lineup, if I can use that word, next week. And I don't mean sick like ill. I mean, you are going to be impressed. So 10 a.m. right here on the Rumble channel. And Haley and Evita blew it up yesterday. Live Search app had him as the 30, was it top 50 overall and number 14 in news yesterday? So you guys are great. We really appreciate it. Thanks for everything. All right, let's get to the news. I thought government shutdowns were terrible. That's what we were told by the Democrats. What did they tell us, folks? If government, quote, shuts down, which it really doesn't shut down, if it shuts down for 5 minutes, anyone know what's going to happen? Grandma's definitely dead. Grandma's going to die, and she's not going to be 106 either. She could be 60, but without government, they're definitely dead. Puppies, kittens as well, maybe your goldfish. They're all dead. Everyone's going to die. People are going to be pushed off cliffs, into meat grinders, wood chippers, and everything else. If government shuts down, which it doesn't really shut down, it is the apocalypse. It is the instant apocalypse. Nothing will happen and life will come to a halt, which is weird because government shut down before and none of that stuff has actually happened. But the Democrats have told us, you shut down government, it is the time will stop. So here is prominent Republican conservative senator. He tells me this guy has now officially changed parties. I didn't get the news flash, did you? Prominent conservative, Palestinian too, which I was unaware of, right, Guy? Chuck Schumer? Yeah, Palestinian as well. I did not know this. They have this on here. But here is prominent, this guy's a House Freedom Caucus guy, kind of guy, just on the Senate side. Chuck Schumer telling us how the government shutdowns are now a good thing again, how we should shut government down. So I didn't know this guy converted. This is incredible. Like baptism by fire. Check this out.
Funding the government should be a bipartisan effort, but Republicans chose a partisan path, drafting their continuing resolution without any input from congressional Democrats. Because of that, Republicans do not have the votes in the Senate to invoke cloture on the House CR.
Notice how obviously we're kidding. This is one of the most liberal Democrats in the Senate. But you almost have to, you don't have to like it, which I certainly don't, but you almost have to respect the grift going on here. How he says Republicans don't have the votes to stop cloture. what he's saying in a backwards, did you guys catch that when you listen to it? He doesn't want to state the obvious, which is the Democrats are withholding the votes to pass the bill. So he's blaming it on Republicans. Did you guys get that? The Democrats have a magical, almost magical power, and I don't mean that in a qualitatively good way, to use language in a way that makes you to believe the opposite of what's happening is actually happening. You see what he did there? He could just state the obvious, we're not voting for this and the government's going to shut down. He doesn't say that. Republicans have not successfully acquired enough of the spreadsheet-type transactional vote numbers in order to invoke the clause. Because he doesn't want to say the obvious, we're shutting the government down. I thought we weren't shutting. I thought the government shutdown was terrible. People are all going to, you went through the whole litany of horribles. You ever hear the term parade of horribles? Everyone's going to die if the government shuts down. So now the Democrats who told us, we need government. You need government in every aspect of your life. Every aspect of your life. There's nothing, you can't hit a baseball without government. Now all of a sudden the Democrats are the shut the government down party. Once you learn to dissect political euphemisms, you can never go back. How he handled that is why I played that clip. Notice the language he uses. He doesn't want to state the obvious. So what's the solution to that? Folks, the solution to that is for you all to get out the message out there that it's not the Republicans who shut this thing down. Whether we agree with the spending levels or not, I don't. I've been fairly candid about that. But we didn't have the votes. We will through reconciliation. They, the Democrats, are the ones not voting to keep the government open, therefore voting to shut it down by simple logic. Here's Chuck Schumer again. Again, misdirection is how they do everything. I want you to notice again how they use euphemisms and word games to try to play games with things that are actual facts. 3 + 3 = 6. There's no way to word game your way out of that, okay? Here he is talking about Elon and Social Security fraud. So Elon Musk and the Doge found out, before you hear this clip so you understand, that there's a lot of fraud in Social Security, but here's how it's working. There are people calling Social Security offices and changing over the phone routing numbers. So if Guy gets Social Security, Michael calls and says, hey, flip it over to my account without Guy's authorization. Elon and his team found that this is a real problem and are fixing the phone system. Listen to the way Schumer characterizes this and says, we don't have evidence of all this fraud. Really? I'll show you the receipts coming up after that. Check this out.
Americans certainly support eliminating waste, but they don't want to see their Social Security benefits taken away over a lie perpetuated in hopes of just slashing them to give tax breaks for billionaires paid for by the middle class. As Musk lies shamelessly about Social Security, he conveniently ignores the federal government already conducts an audit of Social Security every single year. He cherry-picks data to suggest that tens of millions of dead people are getting checks. This is a lie, like so many of his other lies.
It's a lie, folks. It's a lie. He made it up. It's a lie. No fraud in Social Security. Except if you go back to this Office of Inspector General report from August 19, 2024, which says what? Yes, Justin, you're correct. He's like, I didn't say anything. I know. Which says there is, shockingly, fraud in Social Security. They found nearly $72 improperly paid. That doesn't say $72. It says $72 billion. Billion, 72 billion. That's a lot of money. Do me a favor, Justin. Look up the entire state budget of, say, North Dakota. Tell me what it is. So let me read this Inspector General report. Inspector General reports, this is, by the way, 2024, August of 2024. Nearly $72 billion is improperly paid. Recommended improvements go unimplemented. Through several audits, Social Security Administration, Inspector General, made dozens of recommendations to prevent improper payments before they occur, also to correct existing improper payments. However, to date, many of those recommendations remain unimplemented, leading to continued improper payments. $72 billion. This is not an Austin Powers moment.
This says the North Dakota state budget for the 2025 biennium is approved by the 2023 Legislative Assembly. Totals $19.6 billion.
Wow. Guy says 19 points, round up, 20 billion. So you're talking about over 3x the budget of an entire state in this great United States of America. That's the fraud in the system. 3 times the entire state budget. Sounds to me like kind of a BFD, big deal. You see, folks, there's a problem with this outside of the obvious. Nobody likes fraud. The problem with this is you have people who paid into the system. What do you mean? I mean, like their entire adult lives accurately paid into the system. I almost slipped and said literally, but I just said it. I hate that word. I only got 2 more days to tell you how much I hate that word. I'm going to fit it in. So, I lost the chat here. I want to see you guys. I got to turn off the Wi-Fi sometimes. There we go. Now you're back. Folks, there's a problem with this. I always use the example of, say, at the parking spots for people who have physical disabilities, right? Someone pulls in there who's not disabled and has no problem, and someone who comes in who may, say, be in a wheelchair or has to move with a cane doesn't get that spot. It is not cost-free. When $72 billion is stolen from taxpayers who put their money into this system anticipating a government annuity-based system, typically it's not, it's a pay-go system, but whatever, and it's stolen, that's no money for you. You have to ask yourself a very serious question right now. Why is Chuck Schumer ignoring this nonpartisan Office of Inspector General report? Because of what I told you. There are Democrats up on the Hill who just don't care about fraud because they feel like this. You ready? Tattoo this on your brain. Once you find out how much government fraud and public corruption is going on within federal government enterprises like the Social Security Administration, they're afraid you'll never trust government again. That's why they're hiding this. You want to get paid and get your paid into Social Security benefits, you should be the first one screaming about this. Folks, the Democrats used to pretend to care about waste, fraud, and abuse. How do we know this? Hat tip the great Maze Moore. Maze, guys, are we going to miss Maze? Maze, can we get a little goodbye from you tomorrow? We love you, Maze Moore. If you're not following Maze Moore on X, you're making a huge mistake. At MAZEMOORE. Can you pull him up on the screen, by the way? I know you can share your screen. This account, folks, we love hat tips here because we are not the only people in the space. There are amazing creators who deserve the best. And I'm going to tell you something. Guys, is there anyone we've used more? There you go. Maze Moore on X. There's the account. Make sure everybody goes and follows him. I don't care if you tell them we sent you or not. Doesn't matter to me. All that matters is you follow that account. Great video content. Fantastic montages. Who else? We got Western Lensman's fantastic. I hate to leave anybody out. There's so many. You've got Gunther Eagleman. We love our buddy Chicago Ray, Insurrection Barbie. There are just so many. Who? Oh, of course, Cat Turd. I mean, Cat Turd's like the bad. We love Cat. There we go. Just fantastic accounts to follow. The Grabian, we love Grabian, Tom Elliott from Grabian. So if you're putting together a show, shout-outs are important. Here is Maze Moore with a great montage of how the Democrats, prominent Democrats, used to claim at least that they cared about waste, fraud, and abuse until we actually found it. Check this out.
We cannot keep our promises on Medicare. We simply must make the cuts in waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare so that the benefits and the premiums are untouched.
There is an enormous amount of waste and fraud and abuse in this government. When there is waste and fraud, you have an administration who should also be on top of that situation.
If we're going to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare, it does mean we're going to cut some of that out. And when I hear my friend Dave Camp say you cannot cut money out of Medicare, You can't just get up there and say, we don't want to cut anything out of Medicare. We want to cut the bad stuff and keep the good stuff.
This is such a loser argument for them, the Democrats, I mean, Precision Matters, to go to the wall to shut the government down. It's an absolute loser argument for them. Donald Trump has them so discombobulated, it's another word I hate, but I'll use it here, that they're arguing against now bedrock Democrat collectivist principles. Like, we need the government. What do we do without the government? That's why we're asking you to pay 40% of your money to the government. We need it so much, we're willing to shut it down. That argument just doesn't work. As a conservative, you don't want any of these things to kind of shut down. You want it efficient and lean. But it's not against your fundamental ethos that I don't need government in my life. I need, I need family, God, country, police department, a court system. Just a train wreck argument. By the way, before I take a break, where did I get the Chuck Schumer is Palestinian? I didn't make that up. Senator Schumer. Guy, if you would, this is one of my favorites in the show today. Producer Mike did some of this. Is that correct? This is a banger of it. Producer Mike, nice job, man. Producer Mike is a genius. I was well aware of that, but now he really kind of hammered it. Receipts matter. Here's Donald Trump. This is where we got that from in the beginning of the show. Check this out.
And Schumer is a Palestinian as far as I'm concerned. He's become a Palestinian. He used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian.
I'm just spread the news cycle. There you go. I was unaware of that. Oh, man. I told you, man. We had a great show for you lined up. Up next, it's the second to last show. For 10 years, I've been saying the same thing. I'm going to take my last poll on this question just to make sure I haven't been wrong for 10 years. I love the economic segments. Some people don't. Bongino, this is it. Do you want me to run with this next segment? Because Howard Lutnick explained the Trump theory on tariffs so well yesterday. Just while we're yes or no. Yes, you want to hear it? No, you don't. If not, I'll move on to another topic. But this may be my last one. Bongino, you're up. Batter up. Listen, I got this really nice note I've been telling you about from Miles at Brickhouse Nutrition. I spoke with him on the phone as I depart the business, and Miles has been great to me. Miles has been amazing. He's like, speaking to the mic. And Brickhouse Nutrition was my first sponsor. I remember, Miles, 7 years ago, where I said, hey, man, there's all these fruit and vegetable supplements on the market. And I told him, did I not? I said, Miles, they taste terrible. No one wants to try it because they taste so bad. That's why they put a lot of them in pills. I said, can't you get a fruit and a vegetable and a powder that's good and actually tastes good? I mean, there's berries and stuff. And Miles figured out. It's called Field of Greens. I feel like I was on this journey with him forever. Also, lean. I lost, after I came down with cancer, I had to lose weight. So I lost 28, 30 pounds. I used lean. They're two great products. So Miles wanted to thank the audience before we leave, but this is only for this week. So folks, shut down their website, stock up, 40% off. 40% off as a thank you to the Bongino Army. Here's the website, brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Whatever nutritional supplement you need, Brickhouse Nutrition has it for you. Use code Dan for 40. I didn't get that wrong. It's not 4, it's 40. They're doing it for you. They just want to thank the audience. They want to show their appreciation. So please thank them back for sticking with us for 10 years. brickhousenutrition.com/Dan, promo code Dan. That's code Dan at brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. And thank you, Miles, for an amazing partnership. And Delete Me as well. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites. Once you sign up, just provide Delete Me with exactly what information you want deleted, and their experts take it from there. Delete Me also sends regular personalized privacy reports showing what info they found, where they found it, and to get it removed. You don't want your identity stolen. As someone who lives a very public life and who had my identity stolen, I'm hypersensitive of how this works. So take control of your data, keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. and use promo code Bongino at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Enter code Bongino at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino. Well, that is a wrap on our last, not on the show, on our last poll of economics. It is a resounding yes. So here we go. Here is Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick with one of the best explanations as to why Donald Trump is attempting to reorganize our economy in a more efficient, tax-efficient, and productivity-efficient manner. I want you to listen to this because I haven't heard anyone explain it like this. And he just has this reporter basically speechless. She says nothing as he just hammers her on the debt problem and the issues we're having. Check this out.
$2 trillion deficits don't bother you at all. How could you ask me, while we're running a $2 trillion deficit, and not care? You're destroying the people who have run this country before, are destroying the future for my children and my children's children. I can't have a 50, 75. We have a $36 trillion deficit. And we used to run deficits of $400 billion. Now $2 trillion, everybody's like, who cares? I tell you what, who cares? Donald Trump cares. And when we balance the budget, you know what that means? That means our deficits stop. Interest rates come smashing down. His goal is to have external revenue. You know, the way I think about it, we all are so used to paying taxes. We're so used to it. We have like Stockholm syndrome.
I have not heard, I got another clip of him coming up in a minute. I haven't heard a better and simpler explanation about why Donald Trump has Elon Musk and the Doge looking for efficiencies in government and ways to cut the tidal wave of red ink. Folks, this is very simple. I may not do it as eloquently as Secretary Lutnick just did, but I'm going to try. When the government spends more money than it takes in from taxes, which we've been doing every year for decades, Republicans and Democrats, to be clear, both parties have been responsible. Where does the money come from? No one ever thinks about this. The money's got to come from somewhere because all the checks cash, right? Have you ever gotten a Social Security check that bounced? No, seriously. Outside of some anomaly, someone claimed fraud or something? No. Well, how is that happening? Clearly, some of you out there are getting money that the government never took in from tax dollars, correct? Because it didn't. Well, the answer is it borrowed it. From who? Well, from you. Or it printed it and digitally created it through the Fed. We had quantitative easing and all this type of stuff. What's the problem with that, folks? The problem is this tidal wave of debt creates more money because the money has to come from somewhere. And when you have more money in an economy, interest rates go up. Do you know why that is? It's very simple. This is why Commerce Secretary Lutnick was giving the example of interest rates. You got to buy a house, you got to buy a car. You want to pay 20% interest rates on these items? Keep spending money we don't have. Because why? Because for the United States to keep borrowing money at the levels we are, the number he mentioned, $30 trillion, $2 trillion this year alone, you have to pay people higher and higher interest rates to take a risk of lending the government money. It's not hard. There is no such thing as a what? Free lunch. Yes, producer Jim. He's like, I didn't say anything. I know. I'm in your head. I know what you're thinking. He's a Milton Friedman guy too. There's no such thing, folks. Any Democrat or any Republican saying, oh, don't worry, just keep loading up on the red ink and the debt. Who's going to make us pay? The answer is, you know who's going to make you pay? This guy. His name is Mr. Jim, do you know? He's like, I have no idea. His name is Mr. Math. Mr. Math. He also goes by Mr. Arithmetic, sometimes Mr. Numbers. The money has to come from somewhere. And once you create it, it's very difficult to uncreate. Now, it's incredible that under the Biden, Obama, and listen, we've had a lot of spending in the Trump era too. We had the COVID stuff. What's incredible is that Donald Trump we had 53 days, 54, plus or minus a day or two into the Trump term, the second Trump presidential term. that now inflation, which candidly could be 5, 6, 7%, is actually coming down and is 2.8. It's amazing that only 50 days, President Trump and his team, Secretary Lutnick, Treasury Secretary Bessent, Energy Secretary Wright, and others, that they've already managed to at least get a little bit of a lid on the inflation crisis, despite the tidal wave of red ink, is incredible. It's so incredible. Even CNN is like, well, you know, this inflation reduction stuff, can't really deny it's happening because it's, yes, happening. Check this out.
Finally, we have some good news on the economy and really the number one issue for many Americans, the cost of living. So we just learned that consumer prices in February increased by 2.8% year over year, 0.2% month over month. Both of these figures were a step in the right direction, and both were better than expected. So this is definitely very encouraging to see, because it's going to, I think, relieve some fears that inflation was perhaps re-accelerating, because this actually breaks a streak of 4 straight months where I think you could see it on the chart all the way to the right, where the inflation rate was going in the wrong direction, right? It was going higher and higher. Finally, we're seeing it dip.
Listen, I have a lot of critics out there. Jim, they just discovered this thing I have now called what? Yes, a job. They just discovered it. And Jim, we're going to take a break in a second for this thing called what? Yes, and they just discovered this. I can't say this enough. Don't ever accuse me of partisan bias on the economy. I told you Republicans and Democrats have added to the debt and deficit. Did I not? Period. I have been very clear on this. The reason I play CNN polling a lot is I don't want you accusing me of making the numbers up. CNN clearly has an ideological agenda, which isn't mine. And they're even telling you, here are the numbers of inflation. They're coming down since President Trump got in office. I'm going to explain to you why in a second. And it has a lot to do with what Secretary Lutnick just said about the printing of money and the chasing of goods. There's something Donald Trump and his team have done that is causing it to kind of level out. It could spike again, but causing it to level out. Receipts matter. I'll explain in a minute. Hey, I was reading recently hearing loss can be directly correlated with dementia. You should look that up. It's a very disturbing trend. Are you paying thousands of dollars for having hearing aids that don't even work well? MD Hearing makes high quality, easy to use, rechargeable hearing aids that cost a fraction of what typical hearing aids cost. My father actually uses them. MD Hearing's Neo model costs over 90% less than clinic hearing aids. It fits inside your ear, so no one will even know it's there. MD Hearing just launched the Neo XS, MD Hearing's smallest hearing aid ever. MD Hearing was founded by an ENT surgeon who made it his mission to develop a quality hearing aid that anyone could afford. Plus, MD Hearing has sold over 2 million hearing aids, and they offer a 45-day risk-free trial with a 100% money-back guarantee. So get the high-quality, affordable hearing aids you deserve with MD Hearing. Here's the website, shopmdhearing.com. Use promo code PATRIOT to get a pair of hearing aids for just $297. Plus, they're adding a free extra charging case, $100 value, just for listeners of the show. That's shopmdhearing.com. Use our promo code PATRIOT and get a pair of hearing aids for just $297. Again, I appreciate your support of the sponsors throughout the years, folks. This is our last one for today, and they've been great to us too. Berna. Imagine you or your loved ones face a threat. It's crucial to consider a safer, less lethal alternative to avoid many of the complications associated with traditional firearms. Berners less than lethal pistol launcher can be equipped with tear gas and kinetic ammunitions designed to incapacitate an attacker for up to 40 minutes, minimizing the risk of permanent harm. Berners' real-life customer, Adam, he recounts as he was headed to work one night and a road-raging driver swerved in front of him, stopped, and aggressively got out of the car approaching him. Remaining calm, Adam dialed 911 and armed himself with his Berner launcher. Aiming the laser at the aggressor's chest immediately de-escalated the situation. The driver returned to his vehicle and awaited the police. The officers confirmed that Adam's non-lethal response was perfectly judged. That night, Berner just didn't prevent a potential tragedy. It saved 2 lives without causing physical harm. Legal in all 50 states, requires no background checks, and conveniently shipped right to your door. Visit Byrna.com/Dan now for an exclusive 10% discount to my listeners today. That's BYRNA.com/Dan. Must be 18 or older. Visit Byrna.com/Dan for details. Thank you, Byrna. So why is this happening? Why is inflation still elevated? Okay, we do receipts here. We don't do hide inconvenient truths. But why is it coming down in just 50 plus days of the Trump administration? There are a lot of reasons, but I'm going to give you two that I think are the most important. Our energy secretary, who's excellent, Secretary Wright, has committed in conjunction with Donald Trump and his team, President Trump, to a full, I don't know how any other way to say it, drill baby drill agenda. If we have gas and petro products underneath the ground somewhere, it is our goal to get them cheaply into your gas tank, into your factory so that you can run your business. Now, why does that matter? Because, folks, there's a futures market for these products. In other words, people will bid on the future price of oil and gas. There's a huge speculative market. I know that has a negative connotation, speculators, but that's what people do. It's a free country. You can invest in futures contracts all you want. Futures contracts are going to start to come down dramatically as Energy Secretary Wright and President Trump start opening up land for more development. That is why, and that's it. What does that have to do with inflation? Well, it's fairly obvious. A huge chunk of your expenses are home heating bills, gasoline prices, oil and gas for your heater in your house. But think about for the business world. Folks, these factories don't run on good intentions. They run on oil and gas and petro products. It's energy that goes into this. You want to build a manufacturing base? We need energy. It's a huge input cost. So if you can control an input cost, your output cost, in other words, the forward-facing price of the product you deal with is going to be less. That's why the inflation number is starting to ebb, even though we are dealing with a massive hangover of a $30 trillion debt and $2 trillion from last year. Second thing, Donald Trump's tax cuts through the extension of his 2017 tax cuts, which have now, the process has at least started through reconciliation. Republicans collectively said, we want this, and started the process. There's a futures market as well. Not technically, but it's called the stock market. The stock market is the net present value today of the future profits of a company. I don't want to bore anyone to death. When you invest in a stock that, say, 10x the money the company makes, why would you invest in a stock that the company says it's more than they actually make? The answer is because you're not investing in what they make today. You're investing in the net present value of their future profit stream. So if you think tax cuts are coming and production's going to be juiced, then people are investing in the stock market, anticipating more products out there that are going to suck up a lot more of this money, and therefore inflation. Whew. That was a lot. Here's the second part of that interview. Secretary Howard Lutnick talking about how Donald Trump doesn't want personal income taxes. He's not talking about consumption taxes, because that's basically what tariffs will be. But income taxes, I don't know if he's talking about capital gains too, but Donald Trump's goal is no taxes for people who make less than $150,000 a year. Do you have any idea the impact on the economy if you basically took home, outside of state and local taxes and property taxes, your entire paycheck? You have any idea how much juice to the economy that would be? Listen to this.
How about no tax on tips? How about no tax on overtime? How about no Social Security? How about all those things? These are the kind of thoughts that will change America. I know what his goal is. No tax for anybody who makes less than $150,000 a year. That's his goal. And that's what I'm working for.
Put aside all the nonsense partisan talking points, because we do only receipts here. That's all I care about. I'm not interested in talking points. Ladies and gentlemen, if you make $150,000, say 100, we'll just use a rounder number there. You make $100,000 a year. That's state and local taxes. Obviously, President Trump, that's, he can influence that, but he can't legislate on that, okay? Or he's not the executive over that. The governors are. Take out 10% on average. So you figure you take home 90% of your paycheck. No federal income taxes, nothing else. Do you have any idea how much money would flow into the economy? So now, say, I can throw out round numbers. You're making $300-400 extra a paycheck, weekly or biweekly, right? $300-400 extra a paycheck. What are you going to do with it? The answer is, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do with it, the economy gets juiced. Well, Dan, if I don't spend it, the economy doesn't get juiced. I didn't buy anything. That is incorrect, sir. I know you're not saying that, my P1s, because you're smart. What do you do with the money? Well, I would put it in the bank, and it's not doing anything. No, the bank is taking that money and lending it to a business. And the more money that flushes around in the economy, interest rates then come down. The money becomes cheaper because there's more money. It's like anything else. You run out of bagels, they become expensive. You have a lot of bagels, they become really cheap. Supply, demand, it's not hard. Market clearing price is the intersection of those 2 points on a graph. You get a ton of money flushing into banks now and the financial system. Loans get cheaper. People can buy more cars cheaper. People can buy more homes. Businesses can buy more factory equipment. There is no scenario here by which the economy loses. None. But Dan, what if they spend the money? Great. And maybe they buy another car. So then the car dealer has to replace the car you just bought. So then they have to get more steel and glass and rubber for the tires and brake pads. Then they got to hire another salesman and everybody gets a job. But Dan, the government would be starved of money. Okay, show me evidence. Anyone in the chat? Show me evidence of that. No, show me evidence. Show me a Republican tax cut of the last 40 years that has, quote, cost the government money. I'll wait. Okay, you can't. Now, for the liberals in the chat who say, clearly you're lying. I heard in school from my liberal professor, Samuel. He had the same liberal professor on the quad, smoking a bowl. And Samuel told him, the Reagan tax cuts eviscerated the benevolent government and stole money from the government. It's actually the government's money. It's not yours. I say, really? Do me a favor. Go to Statista, that website, it's a statistics website, and pull up U.S. federal government revenue by year. And show me the Republican tax cut that, quote, cost the government money. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The Reagan tax cuts, government actually brought in more money. Let's go back even farther. Let's go back to Calvin Coolidge. There are people out there on the other side of the fence. Who was that? He was a president. Look at his tax cuts. Oh, look, the government made more money. Look at the George W. Oh, my gosh. Look at these guys. They're so fast. I didn't even tell them to do that. Here it is on the screen. I saw it pop up. We got fancy monitors. Total receipts of the U.S. government, 2000 to 2029. Guys, I'm not a math. Michael, you're a math major, correct? That line looks like it's going what direction? Up? You guys have that upside down?
It's up.
Michael says, I am a math major. I can confirm that is, in fact, up. That's the chart. But I thought liberals told us that the Trump tax cuts, the Bush tax cuts, and the Reagan tax cuts cost us a whole boatload of money. Now, to be clear, that only covers Bush and Donald Trump. But that's not what I see in that handy-dandy chart there. So, Dan, what you're telling me is if the Trump vision for the economy is implemented, people will have more money, people will sell more cars, barbers will give more haircuts, people will get more jobs. It'll be fewer people on unemployment and social services, so we won't have to spend more tax dollars taking care of people. And that the government may actually raise more revenue because they're taking a slice from an enormous pie. That's exactly what I'm telling you. Now, if you're going to counter that and say, well, that plan sucks, I'm going to say to you, okay, show me your receipts. Look at that. You don't have them. You don't have them. No, we have an example of a great economy. We have the Barack Obama 8 years. Really, you do. Maybe you're unaware of this, but you should check this yourself. Fact check it so you don't think I'm making it up. Do you know Barack Obama is the only president in modern U.S. history in 8 years? In 8 years. He had 2 terms, in case you forgot. The only president in modern U.S. history to not hit the 3% GDP mark ever in his 8 years. 3%. That's not even that hard to do in an economy as powerful as ours. I strongly encourage you to just, if you're going to fight back, go right ahead. I respect and love free speech, and I love a good argument. All I'm asking for is the receipts. That's it. And is what I'm saying wrong? Is what I'm saying wrong? It's not, and you know it. And by the way, if you're going to throw a curveball at me, someone sent me the nicest email yesterday. It was a woman, and if you're out there listening, forgive me, I forget your name. It's not intentional. We're just getting so many nice emails. And she said to me, Dan, what I'm going to miss most about your show is you always bring the hard receipts, and I use them to debate my liberal friends, and I never lose an argument. I got to tell you, I almost started, like the tears almost started flowing. Like that is That is like the sole purpose of this show from the beginning. That has been the purpose of the show. Folks, opinions are like holes, right? Everybody's got one. Can you back it up or not? And the purpose of this show for 10 years has been to produce data and receipts that you can go and say, I'm sorry, you're entitled to your opinion, which I respect, but your opinion is not a fact. It's actually incorrect. You doubt what I'm telling you, show me otherwise. You can't. I'm going to miss that. But I hope you understand that as of Monday, I have a different responsibility to all of the citizens of this great United States. And my partisan hat, like it had in the past during my time in my prior line of work, protecting both Republicans and Democrat presidents. I hope you all understand that I have to. I know, you're killing my vibe. Sheesh. Gee. I'm going to miss that too. He has the worst timing ever. Do you know that? Like having this emotional moment. He's like, speak into the mic. I'm eating the thing. What else you want me to do? Oh, okay. Well, that's a good point. Well, regardless, what I was saying is that, Monday, I hope you all understand I have to put that all aside. That's what I swore to do. And that oath matters to me, and I know you guys respect that. So thank you. All right, let me get to my next topic so I don't get too emotional about this stuff. Again, tomorrow's show is going to be a total surprise. It's not a joke. I am not kidding. I have no idea what these guys have planned on radio or podcast, and I think that's going to be the best part of it. So this happened yesterday. Folks in the chat, one of my final... why? Jimmy Dog, that's hilarious. Why are you afraid to dress the FC cover? Jimmy, that's an appropriate name for you, Jimmy Dog. If you picked a pseudonym, that was perfect for you. Yes, you're right. Guy, we've never discussed that topic ever on the show, right? Ever.
No, never.
Never. Don't we actually have shows titled that?
I'm sure we do,
yeah. Yeah, you can actually look at the library, but of course we always got some smart ass in the chat who likes to say dumb stuff.
Not this guy though. Henry04U2.
Oh, I love Guy. No, we don't get a. Why does Guy, by the way, always capitalize? That happens with me with autocorrect. Is there a reason?
Yeah, because it stands for graphic user interface.
Yes, graphic user interface. Good point. Yeah, it does that for me all the time, too.
That is not my legal name, though.
That is not. I know it's not your legal name. I found that out, interestingly enough, when some employment documents. I was like, wow, look at this, but we like it. All right, back to the show. You know how easily I get distracted sometimes. Show's authentic, and I just got so much going on in my head, man. So yesterday, one of the best Donald Trump appointments so far, as the borders are, can we all agree? If you disagree, let me know in the chat, has been the great Tom Homan. I just wanted to show you this yesterday. Leftist activists, I thought they hated insurrections and taking over government buildings. I thought that was their thing. You know, we're anti-insurrection. We hate the Chewbacca guy. Remember him? Chewbacca almost took over the country. We almost lost everything. It was the worst event since the Civil War. Remember them talking about that? They don't seem to care much about insurrections in the New York State Capitol. All Tom Homan was doing was showing up to talk about illegal immigration in New York. They didn't like that. There was a lot of screaming and yelling. He had to have a police escort inside. Check this out. Sorry, Smarty Pants 3. What a name. I love using your receipts. It's why I trust your opinions. I try not to get as emotional. Thank you, sir or ma'am. Love you too. I thought they don't like insurrections. I thought they were the anti-insurrection party. I don't get it. Looks to me very insurrection-y. Here is dark mode Tom Homan. You got to love this guy. I've met Tom. I've known Tom a long time. Amazing guy. An absolute patriot. By the way, another guy who has worked for Democrat and Republican presidents and has done his job the exact same way. They just don't like him because he's working for a Republican president now. Here is dark mode Tom Homan. You guys listed the dark mode on child separations. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to be separated from your child. Don't commit a crime. You have to go to jail. It's really not difficult to do. Check this out.
I always hear all the time, family separation, Holman's the godfather, family separation. Let me be clear. Zero tolerance is about saving lives. If we figure we start prosecuting people who violate the law and put the children in harm's way, maybe they stop coming. And they did. Numbers went down. It's unfortunate families got separated. But it happens to American families every day. It's going to happen in Albany today that American family will be separated by law enforcement because the child can't go to jail with a parent. But we want to talk about family separation? 500,000 children on Joe Biden were trafficked into this country. They can't find 300,000 of them. That's a separation. But you know what President Trump's committed? We're going to find them, and we're going to save them, because many of these children are in forced labor, many of these children are in forced sex slavery. We're going to save them. This administration.
You're not going to find a more powerful voice for a strong border. Folks, the border is not a suggestion. It was never designed to be a suggestion, just like the Constitution is not a suggestion. Do you understand? Most of you, I assume, have traveled. Have any of you traveled overseas? Some have, some haven't. You understand what, Vita and I were having this conversation. I got to tease that, by the way. Don't let me forget. Make sure, don't let me get off the air. But Avita and I are friends outside of us working, at least for the next few days in the same company. But Avita and I were talking about how one of the exceptions to the search and seizure rules of our Constitution are at the U.S. border. When you come back in, say you cross into Mexico and drive back, at the border, they can search your car. They can search your car. If we don't have rules at the border and restrictions on who can come in and come out, you don't even have a country. You have a suggestion of a country. You have what's called a landmass, and that's it. Speaking of which, I'd like to think there's a lot of things I'm good at, a lot of things I'm not good at, a lot. Matter of fact, wrote a whole book about things I'm not good at. But I'm a really good judge of talent, and I knew we had a star in Avita early on. I knew it. The show has been just incredible for us. Rumble.com/Avita. I hope you're watching every single day. She said to me the other day, Dan, can you do my show on Friday, tomorrow? I said, absolutely. So we had a little conversation about it, and the conversation went on forever. And it was just, there's so many interesting, everything from the vaccine, from how we got to where we are, to protests on campus, to the Khalil case, to free speech, to the book, The Natural. Some of you know where I'm going with that. You're not going to want to miss this conversation tomorrow. If there was ever a early edition with Avita at 9 a.m. every day show you wanted to watch, it's tomorrow. It's a really candid conversation, a very emotional one with me and Avita Duffy. Rumble.com/Avita, 9 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Always check out Haley. Haley had 13,000 streamers last night at 6 p.m. The Bongino Army, you guys are amazing. You are so incredibly loyal. Thank you so much. And then Vince, sitting right out there actually, starting next week at 10 a.m. His first interview, Tucker Carlson. And believe me, that's not it. He has emptied out his Rolodex to bring you the best first week you're going to see. Folks, this is... This is my last show like this. Tomorrow, I don't really know what's ahead. These guys have taken over the show for tomorrow, and I appreciate that. But this is going to be my last show with this format. So